Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're talking about something that affects every single person on this planet. The doomsday clock has been set to 89 seconds to midnight. This is not just a symbolic gesture. It's a warning from the world's leading scientists that humanity is closer than ever to a self-inflicted catastrophe, from the growing threat of nuclear war to the climate crisis. The rapid rise of artificial intelligence, and the misuse of biotechnology, we are facing a moment in history where multiple global threats are converging at once. So why has the clock moved even closer to disaster? And more importantly, is there still time to change course? Let's break it down. What is the doomsday clock? The doomsday clock was created in 1947 by atomic scientists, including those who worked on the Manhattan Project. They had one goal: to provide a visual representation of how close humanity is to destroying itself. Midnight represents global catastrophe, whether through nuclear war, environmental collapse, or other civilization-ending events. When it was first introduced, the clock was set at 7 minutes to midnight. The furthest from disaster we've ever been was in 1991, after the Cold War ended, when it was pushed back to 17 minutes to midnight. But now, it's at 89 seconds, the closest we have ever been. Why? Because we are facing multiple existential threats at the same time. The four major reasons the clock moved forward. 1. Nuclear war is a real possibility again. The threat of nuclear war has never been more serious since the Cold War. Russia's war in Ukraine has brought back the real risk of nuclear conflict. Vladimir Putin has openly threatened to use nuclear weapons, while NATO and the US continue to provide military aid to Ukraine, increasing tensions. Meanwhile, China is expanding its nuclear arsenal. North Korea is testing more missiles than ever, and Iran is getting closer to nuclear capability. The world is on edge. One miscalculation could lead to disaster. 2. Climate change is accelerating faster than expected. 2023 was the hottest year on record. We've seen record-breaking wildfires, deadly heat waves, and devastating storms. And yet, global emissions are still rising. Governments continue to make promises, but real action is falling behind. Scientists warn that if we don't dramatically cut emissions now, we could face irreversible environmental collapse within decades. 3. AI and misinformation are destabilizing the world. Artificial intelligence is evolving at a terrifying speed. It's not just about job losses, it's about the spread of misinformation, deepfake technology, and AI-driven warfare. Misinformation is making it harder than ever to tell fact from fiction. This weakens democracy, fuels political instability, and makes global cooperation even more difficult. And with AI being used in cyber warfare, autonomous weapons, and disinformation campaigns, the risks are growing faster than we can regulate them. 4. Biotechnology and biosecurity risks are increasing. Advances in biotechnology can be used for good, but they can also be misused. From lab-engineered viruses to bioterrorism threats, experts are warning that the next global pandemic could be man-made. Without stronger regulations and global cooperation, the risk of a catastrophic biological event will only increase. Is there still time to turn back the clock? The situation is urgent, but it's not hopeless. Scientists and policymakers say that if world leaders act now, by reducing nuclear arsenals, taking real action on climate change, regulating AI, and improving biosecurity, we can still push the clock back. But it requires global cooperation, political will, and public pressure. We are standing at a crossroads. The next few years will determine whether we move toward a safer future, or one where midnight becomes reality. So the question is, what will we choose? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. The more people understand these risks, the better chance we have of making a difference. Stay safe, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next video.